I just finished reading the second chapter in the Into the Pit book, and it was so interesting, and that is what I will be talking about in today's video. I will be giving you guys a summary of what happened in this chapter, but without saying any spoilers, this is one of the most interesting chapters in this whole entire book. Now, I will be talking about spoilers, so if you do not want any spoilers, then I highly recommend you read the book first and then watch the video, or if you do not want spoilers, that is completely fine with me. So yeah, without further ado, here is the To Be Beautiful summary. This chapter is about a 14-year-old girl named Sara. She always keeps judging about her appearance and calls herself the doll a mix and match. She has a nose that she describes as a potato, and the rest of her body to her is either flat or fat, as she calls it. Her room has models everywhere that she admires because of their appearance, and she watches YouTube videos on makeup tutorials so she can have a good look. She doesn't eat a lot. She mostly has a cup of yogurt and water occasionally. She goes to school and sees the popular girls in her school. She calls them beautifuls because of how their style is or their looks or what they wear. The beautifuls are called Lydia, Emma, Jillian, and Tabitha. They are the popular girls who go to her school, and the girls are very judgy about people and how they look and wear. She has a friend named Abby. She has been Sarah's friend since she was in kindergarten. She wears baggy clothes and just clothes that are very comfortable for a person. Abby is always trying to get Sara to stop judging her appearance because Sara to Abby is okay with how Sara looks. When Abby was trying to stop Sara from complimenting them at lunch, Sara tells Abby how she is still in cartoons, which makes Abby mad. And she decides to go to the store to dye her hair blonde, like what the beautiful girl's hair looks like. She tries to dye it, but it fails and it turns into a sewage greenish type of color. Her mom sees it and goes to the mall for an emergency hair change. It goes back to normal, but her hair is cut short due to the damage the dye caused her. The next day at school, she tries to sit with the popular girls, but they ignore her and they treat her like she is a ghost at the table. Her day is even worse when she bumps into a boy she likes called Mason, and he turns over to her and says, "Watch where you're going." At the end of the day, she decides to walk home, but she stumbles towards a junkyard. The junkyard is just filled with SUVs and other old cars, but she notices a sedan with a white hand sticking out of it. Sara thinks that the hand is shaped to look like it's waving for help, so she pulls it out and it describes as this. Whatever it was beautiful. It had wide, green, long-lashed eyes, pink Cupid's bow lips, and pink circles on its cheeks. Its face was painted like a clown's, but a pretty clown. Its red hair was pulled up into twin pigtails on top of its head, and its body was sleek silver, with a long neck, a tiny waist, and a rounded bust and hips. Its legs and arms were long, slender, and elegant. It looked like a robotic version of a gorgeous supermodels whose picture hung up on the walls of Sara's room. After Sara brought the robot home, she found an on and off switch, and she flipped it and the robot turned on. After the robot activated, she had introduced herself as Eleanor. Eleanor offered her help for Sara since she saved her. Sara at first did not know what she wanted, but she said she wanted to be beautiful. Eleanor told Sara to give her 24 hours and she will make her beautiful. When Sara got home from school the next day, Eleanor gave Sara a necklace, and she told her, which she tells her through the entire chapter, to never ever take off the necklace. Eleanor asked Sara to go to sleep so that Eleanor can make her beautiful. So Sara got to bed and went to sleep after Eleanor sang her a song that went by, "Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, sweet Sara. When you wake, all your dreams will come true." When Sara woke up, she noticed her arms were a lot skinnier and her nails were long and painted. She thanked Eleanor, which she doesn't move at all, which Sara makes her to be nocturnal, which makes her active at night, but not during the day. Her mom noticed that her nails were painted and everything, plus Lydia at school noticed her painted nails and complimented them. When Sara got home from school, Eleanor asked Sara to go directly to sleep, but Sara told her that she had to do homework and also eat, which Eleanor understood. After Sara did everything, Eleanor sang Sara the same song which made Sara pass out immediately. When Sara woke up, she was taller than before. When she goes to school, she apologizes to Abby, which she accepts it, and Abby has noticed the difference that Sara has longer arms and legs, which confuses Abby, but Sara is just saying that it's just fixing her posture. That night, Eleanor does the same routine with Sara, and in the next day, Sara is now tight and toned, making her skinny. Sara, because of this change, is getting noticed by the boys and the girls, including her crush Mason, which, because of her change, he is starting to like her. Plus, he asked her to go on a date with him that weekend. When Sara got home, she went to Eleanor and she hugged her, but when she touched her, she felt a flicker of fear. She didn't know why, but it went away in a snap. Sara asked Eleanor if she could change her face since Sara still did not like having her nose. Eleanor made sure Sara was okay with it, and since no one would notice, but Sara doesn't mind, so Eleanor sang her that song one more time since it was never said in the chapter after that. The next day, Sara woke up and she was shocked at the appearance, which she liked it. When Sara got to school, everyone at the school noticed her. At lunch, the popular girls even invited her to go to the table, and she joined in. She gets asked questions like she's getting an interview, like what's her parents' jobs. They invited her to go to the mall with them, which is a quote-unquote test to see if she was the right fit for the group. She goes to Abby all excited, but Abby does not like how she is hanging out with them instead of her, causing them to almost lose their friendship. The next day, Sara went on her date with Mason. They went to have dinner at a pizza restaurant, which is not Freddy's, but it is a different pizzeria. Then later on, they went to the movies and held hands, making them have a successful date. Then the next day, Sara went to the mall to go hang out with the popular girls. But when she noticed, or what she noticed, was that they were making harsh remarks about a woman from the checkout area, they making fun of her, and Sara did not like that at all. When Sara went to bed, she had the scariest dream that she has ever had. She was at the theaters with Mason. His hand had taken the form of Eleanor's, but when she looked up, she saw Eleanor herself with the scariest grin, and it caused her to wake up screaming. But when she woke up, Eleanor was directly above her. Eleanor stated after Sara asked her what she was doing, Eleanor said that she was trying to protect her, and she asked Sara if it would make her more comfortable if she was in the corner, and Sara said yes, which made Eleanor move. This made Sara really start to question what Eleanor was behind, but she didn't really want to question it. The next day at school, the popular girls were making fun of Abby at lunch, but Sara defended her, saying that she was her friend, which the girls really didn't care about. But as soon as Sara went to throw her garbage out, Sara slipped on something, but when she fell, something in her felt really weird. The popular girls started to laugh at her, but when Sara started to twitch like she was being electrocuted, they started to freak out. Sara was trying to get up, but she couldn't, but when she looked at her legs, they were turning into gears and pieces of scrap metal. And that was because when she looked over, her necklace was off. Because it was off, she was turning into basically gears. Abby came over to give her the necklace, and Sara rushed home to find Eleanor so she could fix the problem. Sara went to go home, but it was impossible since she was turning into a metal figure. People were stopping and staring at her to see the horror and to see what is going on. While she was going home, she couldn't even put the necklace back on because her hands were stiffening up. She got back home and she was calling for Eleanor, but she couldn't find her anywhere. She kept shouting for her name, and it's becoming hard for her, and she can't barely put any words out. The last place she went to was the garage, and in the garage, she sees trash bags, and when they fell onto the floor, they clumped, and she sees body parts and organs in these bags, but she knows it is hers when she sees her potatoey nose that she had before. Her body parts had been replaced with metal rotting parts. Eleanor was in the corner laughing, and she said this to Sara. "I made your wish come true, Sara," the pretty robot said with another metallic giggle. And in return, Sara noticed something she'd never seen on Eleanor before, a heart-shaped button just below Eleanor's throat that was a double of Sara's heart-shaped pendant. Eleanor laughed again, then pushed the heart-shaped button. She jerked and shook, but she also visibly softened her silver finish, turning the pinkish shade of Caucasian skin. In a matter of moments, she was a dead ringer for Sara, the old Sara, the real Sara. The Sara who, looking back on it, hadn't been so bad looking after all. The Sara who had spent away way too much time worrying about her appearance. Abby had been right. She had been right about a lot of things. Eleanor pulled on an old pair of Sara's jeans, one of her sweaters, and her tennis shoes. "Well, you certainly made my wishes come true," Eleanor said, smiling with Sara's old smile. She pushed the button that opened the garage door, sunlight flooded the room, and Eleanor Sara gave a little wave, then skipped out into the sunshine and down the sidewalk. After Eleanor left, Sara had fell to the ground, feeling sad and scared and eventually nothing, causing Sara to die and Eleanor to win. And that is it, guys, for the To Be Beautiful summary. What a crazy chapter. The first ever death in the series. This chapter was so interesting and so sad at the same time. But we still have one more chapter, and that is Count the Ways. And I'm so excited for that to come out. And the day you're watching this will be Wednesday, so that video should be up on Saturday. And then eventually we will move on to the book Fetch. And I'm actually no. I still have Count the Ways, and then after that, I'll probably the day after, that will be the secret chapter at the end of the book. And then we are on to book 2, Fetch. I'm so excited for this, you guys. If you guys want my opinion on this, it's been a blast doing these, and also to rereading the chapters is so fun to do, and it's just amazing. But that's about it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Stay tuned for the Count the Ways trailer, and then eventually I'm going to be releasing the actual summary. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.